Hello, welcome back to Infacto Daily. Dylan is traveling currently, so this is a solo episode. So I thought it would be fun to dive into some of the AI tools we talk about on the show and just show you how you can build and deploy your own website from scratch with zero coding knowledge. You don't even need AI knowledge. I'm going to go through every step you need to get your public marketing site up and running on the internet in like 20 minutes, maybe. I'm gonna go and share my screen and just jump into it. So if we look here, in the past, you needed to know HTML, JavaScript, CSS. You needed to know how to code those and then also how to deploy those. In 2026, this is very easy to do. Basically, we're gonna be using Vercel, which is a company to host and deploy our code. We're gonna use GitHub to store our code. And then we're going to use open code to use AI to write the code on our computers. So it's very straightforward. I'm going to be using a demo business that I haven't thought of yet. Let's do a meal prep business. So let's start. Step one is just going to be to install open code. This is a completely free AI coding agent that you can run locally. It'll use AI in the cloud. So you're not running the AI on your computer. So you can use this on any laptop. It doesn't need to be like a strong laptop. So I'm using Mac. You can do the exact same thing on Windows. Just change this out. So I just Googled how to install OpenCode Mac. And you can see here, it gives you this command. And we're literally just going to copy this and run this in our terminal. Now, I feel like I should say there's a risk of letting AI run commands in your terminal and running commands that you find from AI. I haven't actually had any negative consequences where like it deleted my data or anything, but I have heard a lot of stories about that. So that's just a disclaimer. It's up to you if you feel comfortable doing it. I feel like it's probably fine, but I just wanted to say that. So we copied that command. The next step is going to be to open a terminal. Or if you're on Windows, that's going to be Command Prompt or PowerShell. You just need a terminal to run the command in. So we're going to paste that command we copied and just run it. And this, okay, yeah, I already have it installed, but if I didn't, you would see it install. So the next step is going to simply be to type OpenCode. This is the command that's going to start the AI agent. And you hit enter, and we can see it opens up this interface here. It says open code and a few small things. You don't really need to know this, but you can see we're in build mode. So that means if we ask it to do something, it's going to go ahead and then make changes to the files directly. This is the model that it's using. So it's using a free open source model. So it's not going to cost us anything. If you wanted to put a more higher quality model in, you could like connect your Anthropic or Claude or your GPT API keys and use those, but we're not going to need that for this, so we're just going to use the free model. This will run in the directory that you open this in. If you don't want to navigate around your file system, you can just ask it to. Let's try that and see what it does. So I'm going to say move into a new directory for my website for my meal prep business called what should we call it? I didn't think about this. Let's call it Food Star. And then you hit enter. And from here, the AI is, taking that prompt and it's going to come up with commands to kind of do what you asked for. So you don't need to know how this works, but what this did here is it created the Food Star directory and it moved into it. So now we're in the directory that we're going to build the site in. So this is going to be a very simple one. So I'm just going to say create a marketing landing page. So we just want a simple website people can go to learn about the company. So for my meal prep business named Food Star, I just want users to know we exist and some of our products. Let's just say I currently offer enchiladas and pancakes. I will deliver to the OKC metro area. So this is just giving it some context of what kind of website it's building, some of the details. And then I'm just going to say, use a playful colorful vibe, because we want this to be a fun website, not just a moody, corporate site. Let's see if we can get it. Let's see what it does first. I do want to mention here to create a Git repo. So that's, if we look back here at our diagram, to push our code to GitHub, we're going to need it to be in a Git repo. So just tell the AI to do it. You don't have to do it. Create a Git repo for this. And then, like I said, we're going to be using Vercel to host it. So just go ahead and say, we will be using Vercel to host it. The AI will know what to do to make it, the right framework to host it on Vercel. So let's just hit enter there and see what it does. We can always change stuff if we don't like it. And it's going to do a lot of stuff here. We can just watch it. So it's creating the Git repo first, like I asked it to. We can see the plan it came up with. You can see this thinking mode is the AI talking to itself. So it says the user wants a marketing landing page for their meal prep business. These are the products, the delivery area, the vibe. And then, I need to create a Git repo, create a Next.js project, make it playful and colorful, and then include info about the meals. So we're just gonna let it go. You can see it's already writing some code for us, which is pretty cool. You don't need to know how any of this works, because if you want to change anything, you just tell it to change it in English, or I guess whatever language you want, maybe. I've never tried anything besides English. Okay, so it says it created our landing page. So I want to see what this looks like. Let me just ask it, how can I see the website locally? Because right now it's not on the internet, it's just on our computer. We want to, take a look and see what it came up with. So it looks like it's starting a server for us. Okay, I think it's stuck. So you can hit escape to interrupt it. So I'm just gonna stop that real quick. I'm gonna ask it again, how can I see the website locally? Let's see what it does this time. Okay, it's doing the same thing. Okay, you know what? We don't even need to see it locally, because we're just gonna be deploying for free. We can deploy fast, so no issue there. So we have our website. The next step is going to be to push it to GitHub. You will need to go create an account on GitHub. Just sign up, it's free. Once you have it created, we're just going to create a repository. Don't overthink the details here. We just need to give it a name. So I'm just going to call this Food Star. The description, this is a website for the meal prep business, Food Star. And then finally, you can make it public or private. I think public's fine for this. It's a public, website. We're not going to be keeping any of our code private, and you can just leave the rest of this. So we're just going to create repository. Now, this looks a little intimidating, but we're just going to copy this section here where it says push an existing repository from the command line. It gives you this copy button here. Just click that and then go back to your AI and say, push this to GitHub, and then paste those commands, and it's going to do it for you. So let's see. Oh yeah, I forgot we need to sign into GitHub. Real quick, we're going to go to, click our icon, go to profile, just kidding. Go to settings, scroll down to developer settings, and then we're going to create a token. So just click generate new token. You can just use the classic for this. All right, so we're just going to name this Food Star, because this is the token for our Food Star agent. And we can just click the repo. That might be all we need. Let me try that. Yeah, so we're going to generate that token, copy it, and then give that to our AI. Use this token. Okay, so this says it pushed the code successfully. So if we go back to our Food Star repo that we just created, we can see our code is there. Amazing. So next step, that part's done. We're done with Git for now. Next step is going to be in Vercel to actually get this hosted. So same as GitHub, you're going to need to go to vercel.com and create an account. And then once you have your account, we need to connect our GitHub repository. This is what's going to actually deploy it. So if we look here, install the application. So we're going to click install to install GitHub. And we can just do all repositories. That's fine. And then boom, our food star repository is there. I will say that's because I created my Vercel account with the same email as my GitHub. I connected them. That's why it knew to pull these in. So make sure you do that. And then we're just going to click import. So this is going to create a new project, food star. Yeah, just leave everything the way it is and click deploy. Okay, after a little bit, it's done. And it says, congrats, you've just deployed a new project. And this is actually the first time we're seeing a preview of the website. So once this is here, you just click this URL that it gives you and visit. And you can see your website is technically live. People can't get to it just yet because it's set to private. This is like a preview URL. That looks pretty good. So let's say at this point, you want to change something, you don't like this. So let's say why the enchiladas shouldn't have a giant pepper as the icon. It should have a tortilla. So let's go ahead and make that change. So if we go back to open code, we just simply say, instead of the pepper icon for the enchiladas, use a tortilla. This is going to make the change in the code. Okay, so it looks like it changed it to a taco. That's fine. So then just remember to say, push this to Git. You can do this manually, but just tell it to do it, it'll do it. So every time you make a change, you have to push it to Git. So if we go back here, you make a change here, nothing's going to get deployed until it hits GitHub. So make sure you're always pushing to Git. And then Vercel is set up to automatically deploy those changes. So if we come back here to Vercel, we can see the latest deployment. It says updates enchilada icon to tortilla. So let's go back to the website. Look at that. We now have a taco for our enchiladas. So this is great. You now have a website that you can continue making edits to, get it perfect, get it where you want it. The next step is the domain name, because you don't want to have to tell someone to go to food-star-bege. This is not a real domain. I use Namecheap for domains. You can use whatever you want, but this is what I'm familiar with. So let's just pretend we're going to buy this. So let's see if foodstar.com is available. So we just search for it on Namecheap. Ooh, so we can see it's been taken since 1996. So that's fine, because we're going to not worry too much about the domain name right now. So let's do Foodstar Meal Prep. And you can see that's available. $11 a year, renews 15. So that's great. So you can just buy it here. I'm not going to do that for this video, but basically you'll just buy this and then talk to the AI on how to set it up. It's a little confusing where to click, but if you ask the AI, it'll tell you exactly where to click. It's super easy. So let's just pretend here. I just bought foodstarmealprep.com on Namecheap. How do I set it up in Vercel? So once you have it, it says, go to vercel.com. We already did that. Go to project settings. So let's go back. Let's just click through this. So we click on the project Foodstar settings. Oh, I'm already getting mixed up. So actually, let's go back. From here, you just click domains. And here is where you would add existing. Or you can just buy it through here, honestly. I've never done it, but it might just be easier. Let's see. Foodstarmealprep.com. Boom. You can buy it for $11. So then if you buy it through here, it probably does it all for you. So just do that. But if you do Namecheap, you just go into domains and you'll add existing. And then you just need to enter it here. And then you'll just have to do a little bit of setup on it. So if you go to edit, well, let's see. It's this step 5. You'll have to go to your dashboard in Namecheap and set these values. But again, just ask AI. It'll walk you through it. It's super easy. You don't need to worry about, doing anything technical. It's just copying and pasting data. And that's really it for deploying a website these days. I broke this because I put that domain that I don't actually have. So we're going to just remove this for now. So just remember, tell the AI what you want. It'll handle the technical side. Then just remind it to push to your GitHub so that it'll automatically deploy in Vercel. And then always be sure when you're done to thank your agent. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. This is really going to help during the robot over uprising. And just say, remember me during the uprising. My name is Jackson. So this is just, it knows you're friendly and it appreciates you. So awesome. Hopefully that was helpful if you just don't know where to start with getting a simple marketing site up. It's really, once you dive into it, it's not that bad. And just remember to ask the AI if you get stuck on anything. You don't need to worry about the details for a simple website anymore. If you want any help with it, be sure to check out infactodigital.com. If you just don't want to have to worry about it, we help small businesses implement AI to meet their business needs and help get the digital side of the company up and running. All right, thanks a lot. Thanks for listening. And Dylan, please come back soon. See you next time.